So, what does being a medical student stop you from doing? / how does medicine affect your life?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Nothing. Why should it stop you from doing anything?
What does it stop me from doing? Not a lot, I'd say.
I don't personally feel like it affects me doing much.
No. My head goes to like, oh, you can't do anything illegal, but I'm like, I don't think I'd be doing anything particularly illegal anyway.
I don't think it really stops you from doing anything apart from illegal stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, that's a good question, you know. Okay, so.
In a great way. The dating life is so much better. You tell someone you're a medical student and they think you're like absolutely incredible.
A big ego boost when, or in first year when like you tell people, when you're asking like what course you study and you're just like, they're just like, oh yeah, I do English literature, and they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm just like, I do medicine. They're like, whoa.
They're like, oh my god, you're so clever.
Literally, yeah.
They're like,
someone, you say, oh, I'm a medical student, everyone's like, oh, you must be so clever. And you're like, who, me?
I wouldn't say it sounds bad. It sounds like it's stopping you from. It's like it's not. It doesn't stop you from doing things in the sense that you're constricted to something. You're like confined or anything like that. I don't think that it does that. You do hold a certain sense of like professionalism, I guess you could say. It's just a sense of just being aware that you're training to become a medical professional. You have to hold that sense of just. Being a professional in everything you do, really. So yeah, you just become a bit more wary about the things you put out there.
Well, I think a brilliant example is the pink hair, to be honest, because like now, because I'm into plating, I thought, oh, I've always wanted to dye my hair pink, and I know like it depends what hospital you're at, but some of them are very like accepting of pink hair and crazy colours, so I just thought, yeah, I'd do it now. So that's the only thing I can really think of. I wouldn't say it necessarily stops you from doing anything other than things like to do with your appearance, like facial piercings and pink hair.
Yeah, we definitely still have had a great uni experience whilst doing medicine, but also intercalating's good for that.
Yeah, that gets you an opportunity to be a bit more of a normal student.
Yeah, back on campus for a year.
Other than that, I think there's still, despite being on placements and things like that, I think there's still a lot of time to do other things, on weekends and in the evenings and things like that. I don't think it stops me from doing much, to be fair.
Yeah, whenever you see your friends and stuff, I think because you're so used to asking people like, how are you doing, or like, what have you been up to today, or like, I think it's just a bit easier to go there with people and friends and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I think coming home and stuff, it's nice to just be like, oh, how are you doing, mate? You alright and this and that. So I think it's helped me in that sense, really.
Made you like a bit more sociable.
A bit more sociable, a bit more in touch with like asking people about the emotional side of things, really.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion, I don't think it stops me from doing anything. I still manage to do everything I enjoy as long as I keep like a good balance and I'm organised. But I guess that's just a good trait to have anyways. If you're like constantly on top of your stuff and then still being able to have time for your hobbies and like say gym or exercising and just doing things that I guess are good for your own well-being.
I don't know. I think it affects my life for the better because it makes me more motivated. Like I'm busy and it makes me want to do things. Whereas I think if you were not busy, I would be less motivated, like in the gym and stuff. I don't know. Like
I feel like it definitely gives me a routine.
Yeah.
Like, having to go to placement and then coming home, doing work, going to the gym, kind of helps me get my life together. Keeps me on track a bit.
I'm probably better at time management now because I do medicine.
Yeah.
So he's probably helped me with doing stuff. So like obviously we're like cooking, we're like training and stuff in our house, and we all do that quite regularly.
Yeah, puts you in a good routine.
Yeah.
Because you've got to go into placement every day, maybe 8 or 9. So, and you're going to be there clinic. You've got teaching, so you've got to properly structure your day.
The early starts really help as well. I think the early starts really help with my day, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think if you eat, like, a lot of people get up at like 10, 11, then your day's kind of like, I don't want to say but I think having the 8 AM starts and stuff and having to get up at 7 to get yourself prepped
In terms of like the other question, if I was to compare myself to like a student doing another course, I still think that I'm able to do everything that they're doing. Obviously we'd say we have more workload, but like the whole point of doing this is to be able to learn how to manage your workload as well, because it's not going to stop at any point in your career. So I think it's really, really important to just know how to do that as well.
No, like students have this like reputation of like being massive party animals, and I think like being a medical student, you have to accept responsibility that you can't go out and get hammered every night because you have to be on placement at like 8 AM the next day. And in a way, that's, some people would think, oh, that's like rubbish, like why would you want to do that? But it's, I think I quite enjoy having that routine and like not wasting my time being hungover all the time. I don't know.
It stops you from going on holiday during term time.
Yeah.
Like people that do other less intensive courses obviously have a few days a week when they can jet off somewhere, but it's, to be fair, it's not a big deal, but it is something.
I can't lie, like when it says like how does medicine affect your life, I do find it difficult sometimes because a lot of my friends from home obviously don't do medicine, and you don't get big holidays, so like your Christmas is cut short, Easter's cut short, as you sort of progress through the years your summer gets cut short, and I have found that difficult. I find it difficult not being at home as much as my friends are, things like that. In that sense I have found that quite hard, but I like, it's just one of those things that you adjust to and get used to. And yeah, one thing I like thought about is after 3 years of uni people go into jobs and then you've got no holiday anyway, so at least we've got a bit more than them.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think medicine stops you from doing very much, to be honest.
No, I think if anything it encourages you to do more. Maybe just like in terms of the free time, but then you work around it. If you really want to do a hobby, you just do it.
If I'm being honest, right, I think there's this false idea that because you do medicine you can't do other stuff. There's so many people in our year who do sports, who do, you know, drama, who do like anything extracurricular, but people have in their head, oh, medicine, you're studying all day, you're in hospital all day. I think if you make the time and you enjoy something, you'll be able to do it.
I think it's general positive. I think it really pushes you out of your comfort zone. I was very, very nervous before I came to medical school. I would never be like sat right here, like having someone film me. And I think it really pushes you out of your comfort zone, and you're forced to do all the things that aren't comfortable, and it's very cliche, but it makes you grow as a person a lot.
I think the striking of the balance is really sometimes quite difficult, but I think it's so important to do things outside of medicine and make time for them. Perhaps, yes, I don't spend as long as what I could do, but I still do make sure that I fit in things that I want to do as well, aside from medicine, just because I think it's so important. And ultimately I think it then helps me do medicine better, which is my excuse for doing those things, because it improves my productivity, I feel, and whole like mental and physical well-being. So I think it's really important, and hence I make the time for them.
Yeah, I think it's all about balance, to be honest. I wouldn't say it stops me doing anything as well. It's kind of like, I think in a positive way, like I didn't realise just how much it would become like such a big part of my life, I think. Like I knew that, but now that I'm in it, it's become such a huge part of my life in a good way. It's because like, you know, even when you're on the course, like all the friends that you make on the course, everyone's together all the time, and it's like, it's quite I think a unique experience. Not some courses, they're quite disjointed, but medicine seems to be quite together, and that's really nice.
From day one of being in medical school, you're like drilled of
they talk about it a lot.
Like social media, like privacy settings, like everything from day one. But it's not going to be something you have to think about.
Have you got things to add in your social media?
No, but I mean, remember in first year that lecture they gave us?
Yeah.
When they said
about your social media.
Yeah,
it's hammered into you from like quite early on. Like you just need to be mindful, but I feel like you need to do that on any course. Like just don't post silly things.
Yeah, it is a bit of common sense though, isn't it? Like you're not gonna post something stupid on. A lot of people have their family on Facebook, so I feel like they wouldn't put something that they didn't want their family to see.
If you don't want your family to see it, then don't let the rest of the world see it, basically.
They do drum into you from the start that you aren't a normal student and you need to be, but you also need to enjoy yourself, and I think those that do that actually do better in medical school.
Yeah, you've got to find the balance because it is hard work.
Yeah.
In terms of social media, I think you have to be careful about what you post anyways, because anything you post on the internet can go anywhere and be used by anyone. So I don't think it's necessarily the fact that it's medicine stopping me from posting certain pictures. I think it's just knowing that the internet is a scary place anyways, and posting anything can get anywhere. Personally, I don't think I would not post anything, but then I understand that as being professional, like people are going to look at you in a certain way, and that's something that you're never going to be able to change. So I would always keep like my settings on private, because I wouldn't want anyone searching me and trying to keep like a discreet username. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd recommend. Keep yourself on private. Like, you don't have to be not on private. And I'd also mention Twitter. Like, more recently, a lot more kind of like professionals have professional Twitters. So sometimes if they're looking into like, they want to know more about you, let's say you've applied for something, they can literally just search up your Twitter really easily. And if you have like lots of rogue stuff on there, like, that's not good. So I just say either keep stuff private or have like separate accounts. It's a lot of people have professional Twitters as well as their normal Twitter. So whatever kind of works for you, but yeah, just being smart really.
Well, I'm 23 and I need to start thinking about that anyway. Like, when you go into a job, you have to filter what you do on social media, and they just teach you that a bit earlier. It's not, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, you shouldn't be putting bad stuff on the internet anyway.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Anything.
It's the internet.
Yeah. And to be honest, I haven't seen anything bad since being here. I think most people are quite aware of what is appropriate and what's not. The only thing stopping me from tweeting rubbish is the fact that my mum follows me on Twitter. So I guess being a medical student's not part of that.
No.
All my social medias are private. I have a public Twitter, follow me. No. But that's like a professional Twitter. So that's like, today I learnt this on the wards, and like, it's actually not like that at all, but, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't post anything that I think would be inappropriate.
Yeah, I think you have to consider that you're going to be seen as somebody that's responsible and looked up to in the future. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
But in fact, it doesn't stop you from doing anything. It makes you do more, because you end up going placements everywhere else.
Yeah.
I think I know Liverpool so much more better than like people who aren't doing medicine, just because I've got 5 years here, 6 with intercalation, and
we travelled to different
everywhere.
hospitals, different parts of Liverpool.
All over the northwest.
Yeah, exactly. Different Blackpool, Warrington.
We're cultured.
Very cultured. So what does it stop me from doing? It stops me from not being cultured.
Yes, exactly.
I think actually being a medical student has given me a lot more time, because we've been students for 6 years, so we've had double the amount of some students. So we still live with our best friends, we still have that student life, and we've done things that we would never, we've both done the student musicals. We would never have done that.
No, I would never have joined like the university like drama society, but because the medics one, you know everyone and it's your mates and they're like, oh, go on, do it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I've been in Footloose the musical, which I would never have done. So I think it's a door opener, isn't it? Not a door closer.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, should that be the quote?